Transitioning into another reality, the boy was awakened by a sudden phone call that could not be interrupted. Sleepily, he asked who was calling him, and in response he heard that he was still asleep, followed by a loud remark to look at the time. Logically, Jin-Woo must have been in a hurry to go somewhere. The boy still couldn't fully wake up, scratching his head as he asked what time it was. It turned out to be 2:00 in the afternoon, which surprised him greatly. He then heard Jin-Woo threateningly remind him to go to school. The boy asked what time he needed to be there, realizing that he had to make it by 5. Instantly, the boy rose from bed, stating that he wouldn't be late. He heard a satisfied response as she had no doubts about him. Slowly, the boy started getting ready, thinking about whether he should dress better, but then realizing that as it was, he was going to his sister's teacher. Already in some room, the unknown girl called out number 280, drawing the boy's attention to what was happening there. The girl asked what the boy would like, to which he stated that he would like a new debit card and to update his bank book. She agreed and began checking all the papers, looking at the boy's bank accounts. Noticing that he had about 1,400 million, the girl was surprised, thinking that he was still so young. She decided to ask what kind of work the boy did, to which he honestly replied that he was just an ordinary hunter. The girl sighed, seemingly understanding what he was saying. She pondered that hunters didn't get paid that much, though perhaps his rank was quite high. She then mentioned that their bank had an offer for VIPs who had sent good feedback. The boy, however, politely declined. The girl looked at someone in front of her with an attentive and rather penetrating gaze, starting to address him as if she couldn't believe that Sung Jin-Woo was standing before her. She clarified whether the person in front of her was really him. In response, the boy asked if he looked so unlike Sung Jin-Woo, keeping his hand in his pants pocket. The girl awkwardly said that people could change so much. He replied that he was going to a meeting with her teacher and wondered if he should really go in gym clothes. Many students, both male and female, came out of their classrooms to look at Jin-Woo, who had come to the school. They were supposedly surprised to see the handsome boy, and a lot of questions were directed at him, asking who he was. Thinking that Jin-Ah was next to her brother, and that she had said they liked him, the girl gave a sly look, asking if her brother was sure he didn't have a girlfriend. She then asked what he did yesterday, offering to introduce him to some beautiful students. In response, the boy grabbed the girl by the cheek and started pulling her, telling her not to call him by that nickname. She immediately started apologizing. After a while, Jin-Woo opened the door to an office, peering inside and immediately hearing the question of whether he was Jin-Ah's brother. The pretty woman, excited to meet him, introduced herself as Jin-Ah's teacher. She expressed that she hadn't realized Jin-Ah had such a wonderful brother. Jin-Woo thought that although he had studied here, this was the first time he was seeing this teacher. He heard a polite invitation to sit down, to which he agreed, thanking her. The woman reassured him that he didn't need to worry about Jin-Ah. She was a good girl and an example to the students, so everything was going smoothly enough. The pretty woman then asked if Jin-Woo knew that Jin-Ah was going to medical school. He replied affirmatively. She continued, saying that Jin-Ah had good grades and she thought she was capable of getting into medical school, but she didn't need to push her too hard. The cute teacher then decided to change the subject, holding up a cup of coffee and mentioning that she had heard about Jin-Woo working as a hunter. The boy's eyes widened in shock at her words. She asked if with such abilities Jin-Ah would have been sent to become a hunter. Instantly, Jin-Woo's expression changed after hearing the question. He gave the woman a serious look to make it clear that no, he wouldn't allow her to do that. The pretty woman lowered her head, exhaled, and vocalized that this was what she had thought, continuing to hold the cup in her hands. She explained that she had started the topic because of a student who was going to drop out of school after it was discovered that he had awakened and stopped attending. She continued that if this continued, the school would start taking action. Even if someone became a hunter, wouldn't it be better to graduate? The woman admitted she didn't know much about hunters, so she decided to ask him about it, inquiring about his rank. She noted that it seemed to be the lowest. Jin-Woo realized that this student must have an E rank and would apparently be leaving this world soon. The woman then spoke about a favor she wanted to ask. She said that the student was a friend of Jin-Ah's and wondered if Jin-Woo could talk to her so she could at least graduate from this school. Jin-Woo heard that the student was a girl named Han Song-ai, causing him to be surprised and open his mouth in response. A girl in a black hoodie and a white cap calmly walked out of the building alone, while a boy asked her friend's name again. The boy stood outside the building, seemingly waiting for just the right girl, leaning his back against the wall behind him. He remarked that Korea was small as it was. The boy seemed to notice this girl coming out of the building and immediately appeared in someone else's field of vision. He muttered to himself that just as he had thought, it was her. The girl appeared puzzled by the man's presence in this very place, especially in such a form as if he himself worked there. She then asked what Jin-Woo was doing there.